Ayu also reduces, and in the future, and the advancement in the next life also will be restricted. Because these secrets are the eternal secrets, or the secrets which has been kept by Krishna. When Krishna keeps his secret, they are all divine secrets. So Krishna's avatars are actually the divine secrets which Krishna doesn't want that everybody should know this. Like if Krishna appears in the form of Rama, when he appears as Rama, at that time the question is asked by Valmiki to Narada, who is that person who has all the 16 qualities in full? At that time, now he could have told that it is none other than the Supreme Lord Prabhu Ram. He said there is a person who is born in this Naraloka, and he is the son of Dashrataha. He did not say he is Supreme Lord, but there are certain things which are not told to everyone. It is just hidden. Like somebody has a realization of Lord, he will not tell to everyone. If he tells that, then because it's a supreme secret, then his ayu is also gone, and the advancement in spiritual life also is checked. Vedaguhya kahile haya paramuyakshaya paraloke taramanda janiya nishchaya. So if we tell this, what will happen? Your duration of life will go, and in the next life, the advancement is also checked. If one reveals the confidential meaning of a mantra, he is not actually benefited in this world. Rather, the speaker only gains a shortened lifespan for endeavoring to reveal the mystery. If one reveals the purport of the most confidential Vedic mantras to faithless persons, then those unfortunate persons will misuse the purport of the mantras, be preaching mundane, baula, sahajiya, and smarta philosophies as the path of devotional service. Therefore, even the mistake of accepting an unqualified disciple yields adverse results. So even for a guru also, if he takes an unqualified disciple, it gives an adverse effects. So just see how much responsibility is there for a person who is recommending for the initiation. He is also affected. Guru is also affected. And if that disciple is not bothered about taking up devotional service, being committed, for many times we see people get initiation and they don't commit themselves. Then who is affected? It is the guru who gets affected. And the mantras should not be disclosed to everyone. Mantras are only given to qualified people. Mantras are not given at random. Patya, Prabhura, like in this, when a Brahmin initiation happens, 7 Gayatris are given. You should not disclose this to anybody, not even to your family members, because this is the most important secret, 7 Gayatri, the most important secret. Harinam Sankirtan is really available for everyone. But again, Harinam Sankirtan, the Guhya Tattva of Harinam Sankirtan is also not revealed to everyone. Harinam is freely distributed, but the Guhya Tattva of Harinam in Harinam, or the meaning of Harinam, is not freely distributed. It has a lot of confidential subject in that. Especially to unfaithful people, we cannot give. Patya Prabhura Akya Sei Vipravara Prabhure Karya Danda Pranama Vistara. So after receiving the Lord's instructions, the best of the Brahmanas offered repeated obeisances to the Lord. Punha Punha Pada Padma Karyavandana Maha Kritakatya Hai Charira Brahmana. So then again and again he offered obeisances to the Lord, and the Brahmana departed in great satisfaction. Prabhura Agyaya Bhakti Virakti Vigyaya Sei Kshane Vipradehe Haila Adishthana. Upon receiving the Lord's instruction, renunciation, knowledge, and devotional service immediately manifested in the body of the Brahmana. So these are the knowledge, renunciation, and devotional service. This is actually mercy of Krishna. It's not so easy to get these three things. Knowledge also, renunciation also, devotional service. Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. Vairagya Vidya. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving? Vairagya Vidya. Who knows this shloka? Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. Who can tell
I
this
know.
shloka? Yes, tell.
Can I? Yes, Mary.
Yes.
Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharthakam Eka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharirithari Krupam Buddhiyastam Aham Prapati.
I surrender unto the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shikshartamekaha Purusha Purana. He has given that one Shiksha. And what is that? Vairagya Vidya. Nija Bhakti Yoga. Three things are there. Vairagya renunciation, Vidya knowledge, Nija Bhakti devotional service. These three things manifest only when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy flows. Receiving the mercy of Sri Gaurasundar, Digvijay, Sri Keshava Bhatta became completely successful. He offered his obeisances to Sriman Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, knowing them to be the source of all auspiciousness. Being empowered by the Lord, Keshav simultaneously achieved great qualities such as service to the Lord, realization of the absolute truth, and detachment from activities not related to the Lord. Though he was initiated in the Vaishnava line, his descendants later on became bereft of Sri Gaura's mercy. This pastime of converting the non-devotee Keshav Bhatta into the devotee is most confidential because up to that point, Gaurasundar had not yet bestowed mercy on anyone in the world to advance in devotional service. The process of devotional service that Keshav Bhatt achieved by receiving mercy from the lotus feet of Sri Gaur Sundar is being respected by his followers even today. So this Shikshartha Mekaha Purusha Purana, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari, Kripam Buddhiryastam Aham Prapatti. This Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga was given first to Digvijay Pandit Keshav Bhatt. It was first given to him. Till that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not shown his compassionate pastime. This compassionate pastime is giving devotional service to others. The most compassionate activity in this world is giving devotional service to others. There cannot be any more compassionate activities than this. Other all activities are only superficial. Like if you have some daya or mercy to somebody, what you do is you give some water, but that is all on the material level. You give some food. But if you give devotional service, that is the highest compassionate activity which a person can ever get. So it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who gave first mercy to Digvijay Pandit. Kothagela Brahmanera Digvijay Damba Trina Haite Adhika Haira Vipra Namra. Digvijay's pride was immediately destroyed and he became more humble than a blade of grass. Keshav Bhatt gave up his pride as Digvijay and was initiated by the Lord into Trinadapi Shunicha verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given 8 important verses, that is Shikshashtakam, in which the third instruction is Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishruna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniya, Sadahari. If these 4 qualities are there, one can preach around the world, anywhere and everywhere. Kirtaniya Sadahari. This kirtan to Krishna can always happen. Sankirtan can always happen. If these 4 things are there, what is that? Be as humble as a grass. Be as tolerant as a tree. Never expect respect from others. Always give respect to others. These 4 things, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, we have to tie these 4 things, or you should write it in one pendant, and put it in our necklace. Keep these 4 instructions as a necklace in our chest so that we never forget these 4 instructions. Hasti Ghoda, Hasti Ghoda, Dola Dana, Dhana yateka sambhara patra shata kariya swara aparara Shalilena digvijay haya asanga hena mata shri gauranga sundarera ranga. So when he entered Navdvip, at that time he brought horses, elephants, palki, wealth. Yeah. That was out of pride to show that I am the conqueror of everyone. But now he has become as humble, more humble even than a blade of grass. What he did was he gave this in charity to suitable people, whatever assets he had. Then he continued his travels as a detached person. So that are the such are the pastimes of Gaur Sundar. Patra Shatakariya. That means after donating his possessions to appropriate persons, he personally became renounced or free from all material possessions. So here again the word giving donations to suitable people. It's not that you can give donations to anyone and everyone. If somebody is asking, you should know for what is he using it. If he is using it in the right cause, then you should give donations. If he is not using for the right cause, you should not give. So here he found suitable people, donated whatever assets he had, and then he went detached. Tahana kripara yei sambhavika dharma rajyapada chadi kare bhikshukera karma. So what is the natural characteristics of his mercy is that a person renounces even the position of a king to take the position of a mendicant. We know how Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they all held wonderful position in the court of Nizam. But then just because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they gave up all these positions. Ramananda Rai, the governor of Madras, he gave up all his positions. So even if a person has a pride of being a king, he can renounce everything and just take the shelter of Mahaprabhu. If mercy flows, then he is not attached to the positions, to the wealth, the properties, whatever he is having. The devotees of Gaur Sundar actually follow in his footsteps by giving up the name, fame to accept the role of beggars. Sridhandi sannyasis, in other words, they give up the pride of Kshatriyas and Vaishyas and become established in Brahminical principles. The Gaur Nagaris and other apasampradayas like the householder Baulas transform ingredients meant for the service of Gaur Sundar into items for their own enjoyment. Such endeavors are extremely averse to the devotional service of Gaura. So the wealth which comes in the service of Krishna should be used only for his purpose. It cannot be transformed for our own sense gratification. We should be very careful of the facilities which Krishna has given. In spite of having a big facility made in Mayapur Dham, Srila Prabhupada used to stay in a small kutir. Even today also in that kutir, 24 hours japa goes on, 24 hours kirtan is going on. So Prabhupada, even though gave facilities for everyone, using people's money only, but he never took up those facilities for himself. So one who is driving, he should be very, very clear about this. One who drives a mission should never use those facilities for himself, but he should use it in fact for others, for others. Kaliyuge tare tar shiksha, Kaliyuge tar sakshi, Shri Davirachasa, Rajapada Chadiyandra, Aranya Vilasa, Dabbir Khas, Sakar Malik, who is Dabbir Khas, Rupa Goswami. His name was Dabbir Khas, though born in the Saraswat Vaishnav family, Brahmin family, Saraswat Brahmin family. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they were employed by the Nizam and they were given a wonderful position. Like Dabbar Khas he was given the position of a treasurer. Sakar Malik was given the position of being the prime minister. He's vice versa. Actually, he was the prime minister, he was the treasurer. So now what happened? When they got the position, their names also were changed. became the Birkhas, this became Sakar Malik. Sanatana Goswami's name was Sakar Malik. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met them, they left the kingdom to live in the forest. One should discuss the following words from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Leela 6.220. In this regard, renunciation is the basic principle sustaining the lives of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. Seeing this renunciation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, is extremely satisfied. We know the story of even Raghunath Das Goswami. These two brothers, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, yes, they came and just followed whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. Renunciation is a basic principle of Gaudiya Vaishnava Dhara. That is why sacrifice and commitment, these two words always put in the consciousness. Until unless we sacrifice, we cannot progress. Until unless we commit, we cannot progress. These are the two basic principles of progress. We have to sacrifice. Yes, we have to give time to ourselves, time to others. The sacrifice is the most important aspect. Here also they said, sacrifice means renunciation. Renouncing our own sukha is very important. Prabhupada renounced his sukha. That is why today we are all studying Chaitanya Bhagavata. He renounced his sleep. That is why we get the ready-made purports. We don't have to break head with word to word translation, nothing. Everything ready-made. But behind that, there is a sacrifice of Srila Prabhupada. Today, what we are doing is actually not a big sacrifice. What sacrifice our acharyas have done for us, we are just trying to do something, very small thing. It's not at all a big thing. Now all the facilities are there. You are not to travel somewhere in train or stand on the roads and collect some funds. Prabhupada did all this. So whatever now current generation is doing is nothing before Srila Prabhupada's sacrifice and Sanatana Goswami's sacrifice. So all these sacrifices, when we remember, then we find that we are so insignificant before such great personalities. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to teach us is Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. How to be connected to Krishna with Vairagya, with the knowledge and with devotion. All three things should be there. Knowledge also, renunciation also, and devotional service also. Because with having so much of attachment, one cannot serve. Renunciation is also important. At the same time, we don't have any attachment to the Falgu renunciation. We are not interested in Falgu renunciation. Even the things related to Krishna is renounced by some mental speculators. They give up everything and they go to Himalayas and sit. That type of renunciation is not recommended. We want which renunciation? The renunciation which is attached, that is Yukta Vairagya. We are not interested in Falgu Vairagya, we are interested in Yukta Vairagya. So here, renunciation is a basic principle sustaining the lives of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. Seeing this renunciation, very happy. So Raghunath Das Goswami also comes in this. Raghunath Das Goswami's renunciation is discussed even today. Born in such a high class Jamindar family, renounced everything, stayed in Jagannath Puri. Cannot live without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he also came to Jagannath Puri. And what he used to eat, he used to just take something, some rice which is to come from the water which is used for cleaning the kitchen of Jagannath temple. So that water which was carrying some rice grains, he used to wash it and keep it. And then he used to eat that much. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this, he said, the gutter comes, not gutter you can say. There's a channel which comes out so that water is thrown out. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that he is holding a cloth. And in this way, he's staining out the rice, which the vessels and all we wash, the time the rice remains. That rice was collected by Raghunath Das Goswami. And he used to eat only that. Because he knows that even if the vessel is washed and the rice comes out, The rice is never contaminated because it is offered to Jagannath. That is the renunciation. That is the height of his pure consciousness. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, hey, you're having feast every day. Why don't you share with me? Just say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy with this type of renunciation. Actually, Mahaprabhu is very happy if he sees a devotee renounced, a devotee is just dedicated. He loves to see. He shows more mercy. So the Birkhas gave up the previous worldly name, accepting the title, accepting the name Sri Rupa Goswami given by Gausama. This is the prime example of undergoing the third of the 5 sanskaras required for initiated Vaishnavas. Third of the 5 sanskaras. What is that? Nama. Tapapunda tatha nama. Mantrayagascha panchamaha. Amihi pancha sanskaraha. Paramaikanti hetavah. So this is the highest. 5 sanskaras happen. In that, third is nama. A person gets name. What is that nama? Connected with Krishna by understanding that we are das. You see, before initiation, everybody is very enthusiastic. Yes, we'll do this seva, that seva. And that is why they get this name, das. As soon as the name das comes, then he starts becoming boss. So that is misuse of our pancha sanskara. Very important is this pancha sanskara. And if we don't do that, then one who recommends, he suffers. One who gives, he also suffers. Before initiation, you see how the devotees are. And after initiation, how should they be? They should be more careful. In fact, they should be more dedicated, more committed. But we find exactly opposite. Yesterday, somebody was discussing with me. Mataji, what has happened? I said, what has happened to the present generations? Just he was discussing, but he's also facing the same problem. He tries to give initiation and then the devotees are not committed. They become flying birds. I said, this is now the scenario. In every place it is happening. Not only here, in every place, every temple. The moment a person gets initiated, now he is now becoming the close associate of Lord directly. He likes to run from the commitments. This is the 5th among all the 5 samskaras. The 3rd is the most important one, getting name. Like my Guru Maharaj gave me the name Narayani Lakshmi Devi Dasi. Yes, I am the servant of Narayani Lakshmi. The words Aranya Vilas refer to residing in the forest of Vrindavan. By residing in Vrindavan in this way, there are no other desires to enjoy material sense gratification like the Sahajiyas. It's the most important instruction, which I was breaking head with one of the devotees here. Every time they just want to go to Vrindavan. Holidays, Vrindavan. But here, see what is the most important thing which has been written. Vrindavan is not for material sense gratification. I know that sometimes I think, oh, did I speak something wrong? I spoke whatever I heard, and this made one family so angry. They have started developing, going to Vrindavan every time, every month, just running to Vrindavan, leaving up the commitments. What is written here? Don't go and enjoy material sense gratification. Vrindavan is the place where only when you are allowed by your spiritual master with some responsibility, then only you can go and stay. It is not for personal sense gratification. Even thinking about one's own advancement. Your advancement is dependent on the commitments which your acharyas has given for us. So we have to be very careful. Not that just, okay, 4 days holiday aa gaya, chalo, Vrindavan bhagte hain. Then go there, take some darshan, hear some here and there classes, and then बाकी बिहारी में चाट भी खाते हैं, थोड़ा मजा भी करते हैं, 4 days रिलैक्स करके आते हैं, सो के आते हैं थोड़ा सा. Vrindavan is not for sleeping. It is not an Audarya Dham. It is a tapasya bhumi. Audarya dham is Mayapur. Even if you just go and sleep there, offenses are not there. But if one offense committed in Vrindavan, it multiplies into thousands and thousands. So we should be very careful of just that is why Vrindavan, how to go along with the devotees in yatras. If you go in yatras, no aparadha. Why? Because it is a duty of the person who is taking in the yatra to engage that person in chanting, in hearing. If that type of hostility is there, then Vrindavan Dham can be visited. And that too only for 3 days, not more than that. Yatra with the neophytes should be only for 3 days, not more than that. Because there is a tendency of the neophytes to gossip. In Vrindavan, you cannot gossip. In Vrindavan, you cannot call from Vrindavan for any official purposes. क्या हो रहा है भाई कितना? From there, you cannot do any business. You cannot concentrate your business, what is happening in Bombay, sitting there. तो चलो दर्शन हो गया, अभी half day हम लोग business करेंगे. No, that is why it is written here. There, when you are residing in Vrindavan, there should be no desire for material sense gratification, like the Sahajiyas. That is why Sahajiyas, they are doing aparadhas towards Radharani. So what happens is they can never progress in devotional service. Progress in devotional service requires a lot of Chaitanya's blessings. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He has appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, teaching us what type of devotion we should do. Vairagya, Vidya, Nija Bhakti. 3 things are important. Not just Vairagya, or not just knowledge, or not just devotional service. All 3 together. Devotional service along with Vairagya and knowledge. If you see, in the second chapter, that is 8th verse, second chapter 8th verse Bhagavad Gita, where clearly it is said, one should surrender to Krishna with complete detachment and knowledge. That he is the supreme, he is the only one who can protect me. These 2 are the qualifications for surrenderance. What is the second chapter 8th verse? Who will read? Second chapter 8th verse Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Mataji. Nahi prapashyami mama gamuccoshanamindriyanam avapya bhuma vapasatnamuttam rajyam suranam apichadipatyam.
Knowledge. The first 2 verses, they indicate knowledge, that there is no one except you, Krishna. Nahi prapashyami mamapanitya shanamindriyana. It's only Krishna who is our protector. Avapya bhuma vasavattamuddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam. Even if I get all the richness of the material world or the demigods, this is not going to remove my lamentation. So renunciation, not having this type of attachment to any of the powers, no assets are going to help us in our difficulty. The most difficult situation is how to give up this material life. How to come out of it. That's only by knowledge and renunciation and service to Krishna. With these 2 qualities only one can serve Krishna. So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask. Any questions? No questions.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji.
Yeah, tell.
माताजी आपने औदर्य धाम मायापुर बताया, वृंदावन धाम किस नाम से है?
तपस्या वहां जाके तपस्या करना है, वो भी अंडर द गाइडेंस. अकेले में जाके तपस्या करेंगे. किसी ने कहा माताजी मैं सब कुछ छोड़ के भी वृंदावन जा रही हूँ. नहीं जाओ. मैं अभी ओपी ड्रेस पहन के जाने वाली हूँ और बस सब जगह मधुकरी करेगी. मैंने ठीक है जाओ. छोटा बच्चा छोड़कर, 3 साल का बच्चा को छोड़कर वो चले गई. और फिर मैंने बोला वहां से फोन नहीं करना, पैसा खत्म हो गया. 15वें दिन में फोन आया, माता जी आई एम सफरिंग हियर, प्लीज अलाउ मी टू कम बैक, डू व्हाटएवर यू वांट। 3 साल के बच्चे को छोड़कर, घर परिवार को छोड़कर, ये कभी कभी क्रेज आता है। एज सुन एज इनिशिएशन मिल जाता है ना, लोग थोड़ा सा पागल हो जाते हैं। ऐसा लगता है कि चलो हम अरे वृंदावन जाएंगे, बस वहां बाके बिहारी जाएंगे, हमारे इस्कॉन के मंदिर में जाएंगे, थोड़ा कीर्तन करते हैं। ये थॉट प्रोसेस इवन नाथ मुनि को भी आया, लेकिन राजगोपाल पेरुमाल ने उन्हें वापस बुलाया। कल के सैटरडे के क्लास में यही बात आया था। You are committed to a particular deity. We just have to serve those deities. In between, we can go to yatras, get more power, and again come back and be committed to the deities to whom we have given a promise before our Guru Maharaj, कि I will serve Jagannath Center. Maharaj has not given initiation seeing the faces of the devotees. He has given this, he has the faith on the one who is recommending. He has no personal any knowledge about any of the devotees who have been recommended by a particular counselor. He knows that counselor, he has a faith in that counselor. Now the trend is, if that counselor says something, then the people get angry and they just want to fly off. Because the counselor knows that he has been committed to a particular deity. He cannot just run whenever he wants. Yatras are the ways to go to pilgrimage. Other times, just spend time in the commitment, whatever we have done. Because here also Jagannath is expecting our services. So then, when you go to get energy, you get more blessings. But when you go for your time pass, चलो छुट्टियां हैं, थोड़ा मजा मार के आते हैं, then that becomes a setback in devotional service. It is a very important thing. एक होता है setback, एक होता है progress. You go in yatras, you progress. You go for your own thing, and there is a setback. And it has been an experience for many, including ourselves. I'm telling you, including ourselves. We got a land in Vrindavan. कभी मुझे भी जोश था वृंदावन, ऐसा setback मिला. My guru told, first उसको sell करो. Yes. Without asking, I brought a land in Vrindavan. I'm telling you, that was my mistake also. I know what are the effects of the mistakes done. बोलते हैं ना, माता पिता अगर मिस्टेक कर देते हैं, वो बच्चों को दोहराने को नहीं रखते हैं. तो ये मिस्टेक हमारे पास साथ भी हुआ था. हमने बिना पूछे हमारे गुरु को ले लिया लैंड, और उसके बाद ऐसा थप्पड़ मिला. इट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट. इफ देयर इज a task given in Vrindavan, go. If no task, not for personal development. We think now for our person, वहां जाके मैं भक्ति करूंगा. No, nothing happens. The bhakti happens wherever we are committed. Simple. That time actually I was not initiated, but still I was under the guidance. I was not initiated, I was under the guidance. So we went, but what happened was we went in a wrong person's guidance. Then by Krishna's mercy, we got good guidance. Misuse ISKCON and trying to take away good dedicated people from ISKCON. In that we were also one of the victim. We did not do it intentionally. We became a victim in the wrong hands. These are the things are there. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
So we'll stop here.